All right. Hey, my name is Joel Robinson. This is my culture speech for Speech 101 Hybrid. Here is my audience members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all over the age of 16. Woohoo! All right, and I'm going to hand you off here. It won't let me switch it around. There you go. You might just have to aim it at me. Yep. All right. Let's jump right in and get started. My topic and my culture is the Maldivian Islands. It's an island chain in the South Pacific. So let's just get started. Should local surfers in the Maldive Islands be prosecuted for surfing their own home breaks? Now take just a minute and imagine that your home where you were born and raised, and where you basically carried on whatever pastimes were handed down to you, hobbies, traditions, hunting, fishing, in this case, surfing. Now imagine that your local politicians voted and decided that, guess what? The place where you grew up, doing all your pastimes that you were raised, all you know, and they decided that overnight, in this case, it would be in places that were basically these people's birthright, where they born, raised, and that's all that they know, was lawfully taken from them. So in this scenario, this just happens. There's a large island chain in the South Pacific Ocean that are famously known as the Maldive Islands. They are specifically located in Indonesia. The people that inhabit the islands number around 300,000, and they live on less than 200 of the country's 1,200 islands. But I wouldn't say that they are poor people, but rather a simple people. Their main means of survival and income are from farming and through their main natural resource, which is fishing. But the plot thickens because by them being such a simple people, this is given leeway to a corrupt government system where officials can be bought out and paid for. So the Maldives just became a democracy in 2008, but the corruption is still there. As our story unfolds, it reveals a secretive judicial system that holds literally sneaky late-night voting. Voting that basically, before the even decision has already been voted on, they already know which way they're going to go with it, basically. They're going to know which way they're going to vote. In this case, I'm speaking of an overnight vote that made all the local surfers outraged. Now, talk of this vote was hanging over the heads, hanging in the air for years now. But unofficially, the major resorts that were coming in with big money, if you will, have been buying up all the smaller uninhibited islands and building $1 million resorts. Sounds nice if you're not from there. But these resorts have been known and accused of buying off local officials and paying police to literally patrol the surf breaks in their boats to come out and to harass the locals, fining them, and in many cases fining them and arresting them for surfing in a place that they call home, and for merely doing what they've been doing since they were born and all that they know, most of them. And it wasn't until 2015 that the government literally passed overnight a vote that granted all of the reef front in front of these resorts up to 300 yards out, that the resorts themselves now lay claim to that land and that it's considered private property. But it's in the ocean, and that's the crazy part, which is ridiculous when you think about all the trouble that our government and many other governments go to keep the beaches and the oceans and all that access, to keep it public. It's for everybody to use and enjoy. So where does that leave the local Maldivian surfers? Not in a good situation at all. Out of the hundreds of famous and world-class surf breaks that they have in those island chains, there are literally only 2 breaks open for the local surfers. Now the resorts attempt to compromise with the locals, but the only solution so far is that they have proposed to a 2-day-a-month surf pass for the locals, that they can surf anywhere they want, but for only 2 days out that month. So that'll be hectic, as you can imagine. But and obviously this isn't going over well with the local surfers, as many have been quoted and stated saying that the next surf season that kicks up, they're going to surf anywhere they want and are prepared to pay the consequences. Many being fined, jailed, both. It doesn't matter. They're ready. They're ready for their fight. And in the meantime, the local surfing community will be doing everything from picketing to signing petitions, all in the sake of surfing a place that they consider to be their birthright and their home, where they live, born, and raised, and are now being forced and pushed out of. So that's it.